stories for you today, chat. I just finished doing the video for my main channel, and today I believe I have heard the most interesting argument regarding the environment. It's not a compelling one, but it's definitely an interesting one. No, actually, I take it back. The most interesting one. So there's this lady, which allegedly has been arrested for blocking traffic in UK, right? I mean, have you ever heard about that? Like, traffic getting blocked? I don't understand, like, how these people want to gather sympathy, because, like, that's the whole thing, right? Like, when you do activism, this is a tactic. Like, when you're a minority, right? Like, you're a small voice. And you can't, like, bully the government to do whatever you want. Like, if you're a majority, if you have, like, a significant number of people, then you can't bully the government to do whatever you want, right? But, like, if you can't, like, you're just a small minority, then an activist tactic is to go protest, and you get arrested, and there's a camera there with the police, you know, just manhandling the protesters, and you get sympathy from the crowd. At least allegedly that's how it's supposed to go. But the problem is, when you start inconveniencing the crowd itself, well, you're not going to get much sympathy from the crowd now, are you? Right? So this lady is inconveniencing the crowd by blocking traffic, so no one gives a shit when she gets arrested. Like, oh, but like the right to protest, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but like people may not agree with why you're protesting. You know, like for example, if I go and protest because the force field hasn't been invented and there's too many car crashes, I mean, people aren't going to respect my right. You know, like some people will say, yeah, well, he's a crazy person. Oh, okay, well, the police arrested him. Oh, whoop-de-doo, you know? But if you go to protest on something that actually matters, then people will care. So, like, why you're protesting does matter. But my point is, if you're inconveniencing the public itself, like if you're blocking traffic and people can't get to their workplace, well, don't expect the public to give a fuck when you get arrested. You know, does that make any sense? Okay, so this lady is arrested. And then she says something which, as I mentioned before, is very interesting. She's got a 5-year-old kid at home. And I'm like, well, then why the fuck did you do the crime? Like, every criminal has kids at home. Well, not every, but like most criminals have kids at home. What the fuck do you want me to do? Like, when you tell me that you have a kid at home, then I will assume you're even more irresponsible than I initially thought. You got a kid at home, don't stop traffic. But anyway, right, so it wasn't that. It's like the reason she was blocking the traffic. This is like big brain level, okay? Like, chat, try to understand. This is, well, the reason she was blocking the traffic is because her 5-year-old kid said that the fish in the pond are dying. Let me repeat that. The fish in the pond are dying. They can't breathe. This is literally what she said. So, on the internet, if you spread harmful and dangerous conspiracy theories, you get banned. But if you go on and you say, I have decided to block traffic today because my 5-year-old said that the fish in the pond are dying because they can't breathe, that's not being suppressed. That gets 4.5 million views. Right. I mean, how can you even argue with that law? Like, where do you even begin? You know? Like, what do you say? Yeah, plot twist, she killed the fish. That would be interesting. Oh my god, that would be a good movie. Hold on, let me show you. I think I can show you. This is, I still haven't finished editing the video, but, oh, here we go.
Without any warning, Constable Wilson arrested me after about half a dozen steps.
I love it, like, without any warning. Like, what do you want the police officer to do? It's like, warning, warning, you are going to be placed under arrest. Warning, warning.
On the road. And I've got my grandson coming tonight. He's staying for the next 2 nights with Grandma and Granddad. And he told me, when I saw him last week, the first thing he said to me was, Grandma, the fish in the pond are dying. He's 5.
Maybe don't take advice from a 5-year-old. Like, you look like you're a little bit more than 5. You look like you should have a little bit more wisdom. You know, like, this revolutionary bullshit that I keep seeing, you know, like, it started since the French Revolution, went all the way to Lenin's revolution, and, you know, like, almost every communist uprising has this. When you treat adults like children and children like adults, like, oh my god, well, the new generation is so much fucking wiser. You know, like, here's the thing. Throughout human history, the chicken does not teach the egg. Like, this has been a constant thing, right? Like, the young mind, the young individual cannot possibly be more wise than the elderly. And I'm talking here, like, in general, right? Like, not individual cases. But even in individual cases, but it makes sense, right? Because when you live your life for 50 or 60 years, you have seen a lot of stuff, and you understand the world much better than a 5-year-old. But like, the idea that communists are pushing, and by communists, like, offshoots of Marxism, various, or critical theorists, or any type of leftist revolutionary thought, is the idea that the academics have now discovered how the world is supposed to work, right? Like, they have unraveled the mysteries of the universe, and they're now teaching the new generation, and the new generation is now so much more enlightened. They're like transcending another step of human evolution, if you will. And the adults are the ones that have destroyed the planet, or destroyed the nation, or did bad things, right? But now it's up to the children to suddenly pick up the mantle and lead us to a glorious future where there's going to be a time of plenty and world peace and everything, right? Did you ever hear this type of thinking? Because you hear it a lot if you read the history books. Happens in countries that, like, usually right before a famine. They're usually on the right side of history, but on the wrong side of a famine. How come chat crashes these days? Chat have never crashed before. It doesn't crash for me. I don't know. I can't help you with that. I can't troubleshoot the chat for you. Cook the fish. That is a good opportunity. You know, do you think she lobbed the grenade into the pond? By the way, like, if you have a pond, aren't you rich as fuck? Like, seriously, can you have a pond and be poor? Like, how many people have a pond and are actually poor individuals? Like, this lady has a lot of fucking time on her hand, doesn't she? It's usually like these activists, a lot of them are old people. It's like, well, don't you have a job? No, like, she's getting welfare from the government. Children aren't especially bright. They don't tend to understand reality. That's why it's important to instruct them correctly. It's not that they don't understand reality. It's like, you don't have lived experiences. You're really gullible, right? Like it takes a long time to understand. Like, for example, when I was a kid, the United Nations. Oh my god, it sounds so good, right? Like, the nations are getting in, and they're talking their differences, and, you know, they're trying to maintain world peace. And then when you actually look at the institution, and you look at the history of it, and you understand how international politics actually work, you realize, oh, so United Nations is just taking money away from the taxpayer. And there's a lot of ideologues there pushing their own agenda that doesn't necessarily mean my good. It's not going to improve my lifestyle now, is it? So basically, right, it's kind of like that. Like, when you're a kid, a lot of things, like, seem black and white, and you have, like, oh, well, this is good and this is evil. But it's not like that. You then realize, oh, well, actually, everything has a shade of gray, and people follow their own interests. Like, sometimes your interests align with other people, but other times not. Like, just because it's an institution doesn't mean it can't be subverted. Just because it used to do certain things in the past doesn't mean it, like... But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, everything dies, kid, grandma. I don't even think she has a kid, to be honest. If you're worried about ponds in the West, just wait till they found out about the industrial cities in China. Yeah. It's kind of funny, you know, like, especially when you look at how electric batteries are made, and you look at all those children mining cobalt. I mean, those children seem to have a different problem than, oh, well, the fish in the pond can't breathe. Fucking hell. By the way, I went to the eye doctor yesterday. And I mindfucked the eye doctor. Because the eye doctor goes like, so how much time do you spend at the computer? And I'm like, a lot. It's like, how much is a lot? Like 4 hours? And I'm like, how old are you? Like, literally, I almost wanted to ask this female doctor how old she is. Give me a sec. Need to... because, like, who on earth in 2023 believes that when someone says a lot of time at the computer, it means 4 hours? Like, what? Like, this is when I was in diapers and the 486 processor was invented. No, lady. 12 hours, 14 hours. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's what a lot means. I work for a living at the computer, okay? It's how I make money. I need to spend time. And then she's like, okay, so what happens when you're not at the computer? And I'm like, that doesn't exist. I'm always at the computer. It's like, what do you mean? I work at the computer, woman. It's like, you work Friday and Saturday? Yes! It's when the audience is there. I make money. I work at the computer. Jesus Christ. Like, what if I was working in a mine? It's like, so how much do you spend in a mine? 1 hour, 2 hours? No! Honestly, like, these people, do they live in a separate world? Did you at least show your channels to her? No, like, actually, this is a problem. Whenever people ask me what I do, I'm like, I'm a YouTuber, you know, like, because I'm a little bit proud of it. I'm a little bit proud of being a YouTuber, because, well, not many people make it, you know? I'm going to be real. I like my job. It's fun. Not many people manage to be influencers. But the thing is, you know, like, you tell people, I am a YouTuber, haha, and then it's like, the next follow-up question, which immediately makes you regret the fact that you brought it up. So what type of videos do you do? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Well. Stako. What do you talk about? Oh, well, I talk about trains. Talk about trains. Train conductor. Talk about trains all day. If you're spending 12 hours a day in a mine, it's probably not that good for you. Yeah, no shit, Solid Slug. You know, most people who work for a living, you can either sell your body or you sell your mind. Sometimes both. Like, do you think a truck driver that drives for like 10 hours a day is going to have a healthy back when he's old? Your Why Do People Dislike Woke video was very good and depressing at times. Why people continue to fall for it and wake up, it is disgusting. It's simple, because like if you don't fall for it, you get fired, right? The correct thing to do would be for people to quote-unquote unionize. It happens every now and then, but it's very rare. Like for example, when they decided to harass VTubers. That wasn't a good idea, but they did it. Hey V, shill my HFY stories that I post on Reddit under the cursor hasn't moved, so I can afford to super chat you more. Guys, go on Reddit under the cursor hasn't moved and read the HFY stories so that the field of bears, which used to super chat me a lot in the past, can super chat me more in the future. Have some money, you magnificent man. Thank you, Rustavicious. I work for a living from the computer. Are you sure about that? Yes! Like, literally right now. That's what I do, right? I'm slaving over a hot computer. Do you know how hot it is in the fucking room? You have no idea. But if I turn the fan, then the noise is going to be picked up by the microphone. If I open the window, the neighbors will complain. If I open the door, there's an echo. So I have to shut myself into this room for 1 hour. Horrible. But it is what it is. Anyway, did you know that Pipkin Pippa and Sargon had a fallout And then we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat. Oh my god. Holy shit. I just noticed that American Outlier is here. I really wanted him. Like, we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat now. I mean, this is... my question is, why do they always... Like, the American companies, right? The way they represent black people in AAA gaming... I don't know if, like, how should I put it? I will just show you. I will just fucking show you because, words cannot do justice. Alright, so, this is Tanya from Mortal Kombat, right? It used to look like this. This is the cosplay. No, sorry, this is, I have seen cosplay that looks like this as well. This is like the first version of Tanya from Mortal Kombat 4. This is what they did after, in MKX. And this is the Tanya they've done now. Completely, like first of all, it's not like the skin color. Like, okay, so like people are like, racist, no, you're racist. Motherfucker, people liked her before. Right? Like, the question is, like, why, like, first of all, I don't like the design. I'm just going to be honest. I get what they're going with, but the problem is the facial features. The facial features. This is body type A, isn't it? You are supposed to go with body type B. See, I'm using the language. I'm using the language so that progressives can't get upset. I'm not a J.K. Rowling fan, mind you. But is she wearing this to hide her Adam Apple? Like, come the fuck on. And it's the same with this lady. Like, oh, did you not manage to find beautiful women anymore? Like, why can't you use this face? Is this face hypersexualized or something? Like, take this face, click and drag, and put it over here. Why is it so fucking difficult? My fucking god. Mortal Kombat is a fantasy. Like, the whole thing, with her looking like this, with white eyes and stuff, you know, is the creation of the femme fatale trope. Like, this lady is oozing feminine energy. Sorry, is oozing body type A energy. Which means that if a soy Democrat walks into a bar and she is sitting there, he is not going to be able to make eye contact. Like, he's like, this is how they... Right? Like, this lady is scanning for Democrats. And whenever, like, she's looking and they go like, Democrat. Biden-Harris supporter. You know? Like, she was the strong, archetypical, patriarchal man. Because she is the feminine beauty standard and she wants the conservative male beauty standard. But... I think, like, this is the explanation. This is what I think. The developers hate this type of woman because they never... get these types of women, you know, they don't want to speak with them, they're not interested, they're thanks bye. So because of that, this is the only type of women that they can be with, right? So this is what they represent in their game. It's maybe like, you know, like when you're a man and you have like very low self-esteem, like incredibly low self-esteem, what you are going to do is you're going to look at a woman like this and you're not even going to try. Like, you're going to be like, out of my league. It's kind of sad, like, maybe she would like you. But you're not even going to try, right? So when you see a woman that's in your league, you're going to be like, okay, well, I can approach this. This is safe. Where's my chat? I lost my chat. And my train of thought. The next edition will be... Mortal Kombat, yes. This is another thing. Show the code you have written. You can work at the computer doing other things besides coding, you know? Like, if I was an artist and I would be photoshopping at the computer, that's still... Anyway, right. The interesting thing, like, a company which shows some of the most violent depictions in AAA gaming history, like ripping people. Well, actually, you know, like you can do this to women as well. Like in Mortal Kombat, I think like if you want to talk about degeneracy, Mortal Kombat 11, right? Like Jackie Briggs can, sorry, no, like the mother can brutally murder the daughter and vice versa. Like you can do that in Mortal Kombat, right? But no one cares because it's fiction, right? Like it's fiction. Who cares? So in a game that's hyper violent, like the problem is sexuality. Like the problem is like, well, you know, like we can't let people think too much about women. But I mean, like, look, you're supposed to cause a fatality on them. So I am like so sick and tired. The other thing I remember, oh my god, Subverse. Do you guys remember that hentai game which Arch went on his channel at the time and advertised it? So like the developers go on his channel, they talk about the game, which by the way, like at the time it was allowed for a YouTuber to advertise these types of games. I think like they even have a YouTube channel now. But anyway, right, so they go there, they advertise their game, and after that, like someone tells them, hey, you know that Arch is a fascist, and they're like, oh well, we as a community take a firm stance. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Like, do you think your game is ever going to be acceptable? Like, do you view people are going to talk about your game over the Christmas dinner? Are you fucking out of your mind? You're making a hentai game. What morality are you talking about? You're not family and Jesus. Shut the fuck up. And it's the same with Mortal Kombat. Like, you're making gore for a video game, okay? Which is fine. I'm not the one clutching my pearls over it. But don't give me about morality. Like, you people are sick. You probably spend time in a room discussing fatalities, and it's like, okay, so they're going to stick the hand up the mouth and then pull the spine out of the throat, and it's like, and those people are coming to me, to me, and they're lecturing me about morality. Shut the fuck up. Conan is smacks and violence. Is one of the best ways to storytell since Greek times. I think it's called Thanatos and Eros, right? Eros is the smacks, Thanatos, whatever the fuck is violence. It basically means death and love, right? Like this is his Greek theater, right? Like people from that time realized, okay, well we can write about this and people want to see it. Temple did Arch dirty. I did not know that. What did Temple do to Arch? I didn't even know that there was a crossover. Arch's last name is Breivik. Is it? I don't think it is. Whatever. What did Temple do? Like, Temple doesn't do much. He sits in a chair and interviews people. That's a good job. Yes, advertising a hentai game. Arch is truly a fascist. I know. Lots of people with hard-ons for Tim here. Get a life. I don't know what he did. Like, did he disrespect Arch? Because I know that Pipkin Pippa disrespected Sargon. Let's listen to that. This happened. This has transpired, so... Where the fuck did I save it? I need to find it first, chat. Ah, here we go.
Do VR chat, Pippa? No, I hate VR chat. Also, most of those girls are not girls.
She did the Sargon, chat. She did the Sargon, saying that the girls on VR chat are not girls.
Alright. How do I go back in? There we go. Okay. Get down, Fillion. No, I like Fillion. Fillion's a rare exception. Fillion is a rare... Okay, Sargon, now! Please! Please, no! Please, no, anything but the Sargon comparison!
You fucking deserve it. You earned it, Pippa. You earned it. Saying that VR girls are not girls.
Oh, God. I've never even fucking been to Applebee's. Don't you put that evil on me.
By the way, the lisp now, like, I haven't watched Pippa in a while, but, like, the lisp is really bad, isn't it? Like a little bit, and she's going to change her avatar into a thick. She's gonna be a neck in the lower right corner of the screen. Thank you for the super chat. If you take out a tooth, chat, aren't you supposed to put some other shit back in? Like, don't they have, like, porcelain teeth or something? Like, she's got far more subscribers than I do at this point. What is it, like 3,000 live viewers and stuff? How the fuck can you not make enough money to, like, put the tooth back in? Not the one that you pulled out, obviously. But they have, like, fake teeth that go in. Like, you're supposed to do that. It's not healthy if you don't do it. Like, she's on her second. Replace them! Replace the passion gap!
So, speaking of Sargon, he says, you are a dude. You know what? You know what, Sargon? You know what, Sargon of a kind? I think you're a dude. Okay, is he gone? Is he gone? The clip's over? Alright, your suit looked like shit. I don't take shit from Applebee's employees. Kirsten raided Sargon once. He was pretty chill. Sargon streams on Twitch? He's not banned?
See, this is what everyone else is wondering. I'm not holding it against her. Like, literally, all of us from the couples were wondering, like, how is he not banned? Sticks, Axe, and Hammer gets banned. Destiny gets banned. Sargon streams there. Like, no one is saying that he should get banned. It's just a mystery, you know? It's like one of those things. It's like, you know, minding your own business, and you see, like, someone on a roof of a house, like, fixing an antenna, and all of a sudden he's walking like Willy Coyote, just walking on air, you know, like, he moves away from the roof and he's walking on air, and you're like, what the fuck? You know, you're not saying that he should fall, but you're, like, looking at it, it's like, how, like, really? You know, like, it's kind of like that.
Daniel's here, thank you for $4. Now you got me curious, which country has more music, than Brazil or North Korea? Is this a trick question? Yes, he does.
Yeah, no, he streams on Twitch. That's true. Yes.
Stream on Twitch? He hasn't been banned?
No.
Yeah, wouldn't he be banned?
Yeah, I think so too. I believe that he may have connections. Like, there's no fucking way. He must know one of the mods or the admins, whatever they call them. It's like the chat. Why would he be banned? Because literally everyone to the right of Stalin gets banned on Twitch. That's why. It's just Sargon on Twitch, but he doesn't talk politics. He just plays video games. That would explain it. Like that, but even then, no. I think like even then it would be like Twitch is a mental illness. The entire platform. They cannot stand. Like, they are so inclusive that they have to ban 3/4 of the population in order for them to feel that they're inclusive. It's very bizarre that Sargon is not banned on Twitch. I don't get it, but it is.
Why would he be banned? I don't know, because he's an asshole?
See, that's not really the correct answer. Like, almost everyone on Twitch is an asshole, Pipa, including yourself when you're streaming there. So, I don't think, like, that is the reason. It's mostly the politics that's the issue.
I would just assume they would find some reason to ban him.
Yeah, me too. No, I definitely agree with that take.
He is? Yes? I don't like him, Chad. I'm gonna be blunt. I don't like him. I used to watch him a long time ago. I don't like him. He was briefly demonetized on YouTube.
I think it still is, actually. I think it still is.
Not to collab, but would you ever interview the Acadian? I think it would be a good time.
I don't think he wants to, though. I don't think, like, he would do it. I asked him. I was like, why don't you have a VTuber over? He doesn't want to.
No.
Oh, well, then it's consensual.
No. I think that would be insufferable. I don't want to talk to that man. Arclight, thank you for the $10. If we can get Donald Trump to tweet out Pimkin Pippa, the SGWs will shit their pants. Yeah, for that reason. There are some people that would be fun to talk to. There are some people that would not be fun to talk to.
I am willing to bet that if the universe would shift axis and the astral planes would align and an interview between Pipkin Pippa and Sargon would have formed, it would have at least 25,000 people watching. At least, at minimum. I think you believe it would not be fun. Maybe for you. Maybe you'd be hyperventilating in a bag or something. But the internet would love that. Like, I would definitely do everything in my power to make it happen, but alas, I'm not Jesus Christ. Like, I can't make miracles. He doesn't want it, she doesn't want it, there's nothing you can... You know, like, usually when there's, like, one person that at least wants it, maybe you can persuade the other guy. And by the way, it can even be... No, because there's 3 people here, right? Like, Pippa can be I consent, Sargon can be I consent, and Sakana can be I don't consent. You know? So, it's just too many variables, too many people to influence. I can't do it, chat. I wish I could. I wish I could make this interview happen, because like there were some people that suggested it, and I do agree, it would be funny and hilarious as fuck. But unfortunately, not in this lifetime. Like, it would be much more easy to get Metakar on his dying bed to interview Pipkin Pippa. Like, that would be much more doable than Sargon and Pippa interview. No, it just can't happen.
I don't want to talk to people that aren't fun anymore. Listen, that being...
Yeah, but you can't make him fun. Like, that's the thing. Like, if Pippa and Sargon would be in the same stream, you would make him fun. Do you know what Sargon's nightmare is, Pippa? Do you want to know what his nightmare is? I will tell you. I will tell you the nightmare of a cod. I will tell you his phobias, chat. Like, you get to find it out here. From the inside. I will give you the scoop. He is afraid of playing Minecraft. I'm not kidding. Like, legit. He is terrified of playing Minecraft. Why? Because he is afraid it would be way too addictive. Like, he plays Ark Survivor Evolved. And in that fucking game, he sank more than 3,000 hours, I believe. Like, literally, that was the only thing that he was playing at the time. Right? Like, nothing else. Just that. Just that. Like, imagine... You're only playing one game, and that is Ark Survivor Evolved. Now, apparently, Minecraft would be more enticing, right? Now, what game does Pippa like? So, if you get Sargon and Pippa to play Minecraft, holy shit. Like, that would be the stream. The stream. Tim made legal threats to Studio Foe for the Subverse brand, so the joke became Tim Pool did a porn game. No, I know, but like I think like the Subverse thing, like the Foe studio, they took the brand on purpose before that. Like, I think like Tim was talking trash about either one of them or like the hentai genre in general, so like they did that, and then Tim Pool got upset and they had a legal reason, and you know, but like the public doesn't know what happened behind the scenes before that. You know, that was a low blow by the devs, what they did to Arch. Well, if I get a chance to talk and folks tell me something similar, my reply, kick rocks. Well, yeah, I mean, it was something that Arch came out as victor, because eventually the devs took away their accusation and apologized. But, yeah, I mean, the whole thing, like, my publisher at the time came up and said, do you know how difficult it is to advertise our products? Do you have any idea how difficult it is? So basically what you're doing now is making sure that no other YouTuber will pick us up. Because what happened when the developer said that, I think it was Kotaku or the Daily Beast or something, the Daily Dot, like one of these publications, wrote an article about Arch, right? You don't want the journalist to write articles about you, because then the YouTube can get you demonetized. So like, yeah, Arch was sweating bullets at the time, and it's like, well, you know, like, what the fuck did I do? All I did was, like, give these people a platform to advertise their product, and in exchange, they're writing shit about me, and now it's newsworthy. Because, like, the thing is, and this is why a lot of YouTubers don't take sponsorships. Like, Tim Pool didn't take sponsorships for a while. Because let's say you get Coca-Cola to sponsor you, right? Well, what ends up happening is, like, you're going to get, like, lefties pressuring Cola to drop your sponsorship. And then Cola goes, it's like, oh, so we found out that this YouTuber is a bad person and blah, blah, blah. And then the media, right, which initially wouldn't talk about you because you're not newsworthy, but now you are newsworthy simply because Coca-Cola is talking about you. They will be like, oh, well, Coca-Cola disavowed. And then YouTube goes like, oh, shit, well, there's negative publicity towards this guy, so we gotta take him off the partnership program. And that's why the best thing was to just not take these partnerships. No Super Bowl ad for the Succubus game. Unfortunately not. I would actually pay for it if I could, you know? Like, that would get a lot of returns. But, you know what? Maybe... does TFM still have a podcast? I think it does. Maybe I'll advertise it there. Debate me in Minecraft. Yes, literally. Pippa, debate Sargon in Minecraft.
Said, I don't wish ill upon him or anything, alright? I don't want this being like, oh my god, Pippa fucking hates him and hopes he dies.
Is this what Sakura is forcing you to say, Pippa? Is this what you genuinely feel, or is this what you have to say? Is this what the YouTube CEO requires you to say? You need to debate him in Minecraft. I don't believe it. I don't believe what you're saying unless you debate him in Minecraft.
Or whatever. No. No ill will towards the guy or whatever. Just not my cup of tea. I just don't personally like him. The boxing with the $2. Pippa just get good, Lamau. You said he should be banned. I didn't say he should be banned. I said I'm surprised he's not banned.
To be honest, I do understand how she's feeling, because like a lot of us are also like, we're surprised that he's not banned, and people think that we want him banned. It's like, no, that's not the point. Like, we're curious how the fuck did he do it so we can replicate it. Like, what is the magic of streaming on Twitch and being a right-winger and not getting banned? TFM is not the best association? Why not? Why the fuck do I care? It's an advertisement. I want people to see it. I'm not like, I genuinely, like, don't understand this thing. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong. But, what the fuck does it matter? Like, if you have a product and you get people to see it, like, I don't need to go out and have a beer with the guy, right? Like, I don't need to go out and be buddies. And what if I were to advertise on AOC's channel? Is that better? Like, if I associate myself with AOC and I advertise on her channel, is that good? Because at the end of the day, if she wants to, I don't give a fuck. I'll give her money. Put my ad there. Sell my game. How is Pippa not banned? Well, she's part of a brand. Like, at least I understand that. And actually, she's not that controversial. Like, Pippa is that doesn't say the stuff she used to say. So I'll put it like that. Sargon keeps a low profile of big tech platforms. What, with the Lotus Eaters? Like, are you kidding me? That's a huge channel. I still don't understand how the Lotus Eaters are demonetized. Me neither. But I do assume that maybe like a British politician or something, like they talk to YouTube, like that can happen. I still remember how last year Pippa's chat kept telling her to brush her teeth or she might lose them. She chose to ignore them. You know, I think like 1 year of brushing teeth wouldn't make a difference. Like, and by the way, I'll tell you this. If you're having a cavity or something like that, then brushing your teeth can be also painful. So like a lot of people choose not to do it due to the pain. No, like if she was to brush her teeth starting last year, I don't think like it would influence anything. Like these things are usually 5 years in development at least. Yes, Sol on the Lich, that TFM, yes. Pippa is like a 5 compared to Kirsche? What? Oh, like politically speaking, I see. Politically speaking, maybe. All of Lotus Eater's content on YouTube is carefully selected. Oh, I did see some edgy stuff. Not all the time, but like, there's this guy. It's not from Sargon. It's like this right-wing academic. I don't know his name exactly. The one that attacked anime, I think. Like, sometimes he says some shit that I'm like, how the fuck did he get away with that? Like, I wouldn't say that stuff on my channel. So, it is, you know, like, personally, I would want nothing to be banned, right? But I'm also struggling to understand the rules of the platform, like what's allowed to say, what isn't, so, yeah. Is Sargon demonetized? Yes. And on Lotus Eaters as well. occasionally some spicy meme end up in the YouTube cut. I think like what's it called? The YouTube Shorts. I think like they're less monitored than the actual. Hold on. There's breaking news. Breaking news. All right. Ubisoft confirms they will delete your account and purchase games if you go inactive for too long. I honestly don't think they will. I honestly don't think they will. I will tell you why. I mean, maybe they will do it to the Americans, but I don't think they will do it to Europeans because here we actually like one of the only things that the EU did, which is good, is consumer protection. So basically, if you want to sue a company in America, you have to pay for it yourself, right? So it's very expensive. Most people can't do it. Here in Europe, the government has an entity which differs from country to country in the European Union, but it's usually like the Consumer Protection Agency or something like that. And they have lawyers with boners. Like those lawyers have a big cock. And all they want is to fuck with companies. Like that's their job. That's what they're getting paid for, right? Not by you, but the taxpayer. The government literally pays them to do that. So you go there, you file a complaint, and you're like, well, my rights were infringed by such and such company. And that's it. You don't have to show in court. You don't have to gather evidence. You don't have to do jack shit. Like, you can literally go and I bought this bag of pretzels from this supermarket and look. And you show them like a rotten pretzel or something. That's all they need. That's all they need. And then they go and they mess with that company on your behalf, right? And you don't have to show, you don't have to do anything. And if you, like Steam actually tried pulling this shit in Russia. Russia has a similar system. So they tried doing it with the Russian because he spoke slurs to a Steam moderator. So the Steam moderator decided to terminate his account. Well, it turns out that he had a lot of games purchased on that account. So he did what you know, like I mentioned. So this Russian entity messed with Steam, and then they reinstated his account, but I think like they banned him from talking with other people, right? So like he can still play Steam games, he can still buy games on Steam, but he can't use the chat function outside of games. So like it's the same with Ubisoft. Like if you buy stuff, and terms of service don't mean shit. You can't pull this stuff, right? Like terms of service is like no one cares in European Union. Like we have laws. Your terms of service cannot violate our laws. So like if they are saying that, oh well, if your account goes inactive or some shit, you're going to lose your game. Nope, not gonna happen. They had like I don't know if it was Ubisoft, but I think it was. They had like also some like really bizarre TOS that like if you're streaming a game and like someone happens to walk into the camera, they own their face. So basically like what they were claiming is that if you're streaming their games, they own your face, right? So like if you're a Twitch streamer playing Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, your face can be used in one of their commercials, right? Like you give your consent by streaming their game, which is nonsense. Like it wouldn't fly in the European Union. But not only that, they would say that if someone else enters the room, right, like they would use that person. So I guess like what they were thinking is like, okay, well, if we want to make like a compilation of streamers that are playing our games, we can show it. No, in the European Union, you can still sue them. So now they're saying like, we noticed that you have not been using your Ubisoft account associated with the email address. We have temporarily suspended your inactive account and will be closing it. We just wanted to chime in that you can avoid the account closure by logging into your account within the 30 days and select the cancel account closure link contained in the email. We certainly do not want you to lose access to your games. Right, so, is it possible that this is legit? Yes. Are they going to get fucked over it if they try it in the European Union? Yes. Why are they doing it? Simply. Gaming as a service is what's trending right now in the corporate world, right? Like, people don't make video games for entertainment. People make video games not even to make money, but to make their damn best that they will take every cent from you, right? Like back in the day, the mentality was different. Back in the day, the mentality was, we're going to make some good video games, and people are going to buy them, and that's how we make money. Kind of like writing a book, right? Like, you write a book, and you write a book that's good, and you want to read, you know, it's like something you would want to read, and you're giving it to the market. It's kind of like that. But now video games aren't like that, so it's gaming as a service. Why do you think Diablo made their entire game harder? Like, literally, they made a patch which makes the game harder. And it's even like, if you want to teleport out of a dungeon, it now takes extra time. Why did they do that? They did this in order to get people to play more, right? Like, the more, like, gaming as a service means that you want people glued to the game. Like, you want people addicted to your game. And they're not addicted because the game is good. They're addicted to all these dumbass features, like grinding and stuff. Like, why do you think that Assassin's Creed has grinding and levels? It's to keep people playing. So, if people get inactive, then you threaten them with removing their games, and you're hoping that people are going to be, oh shit, well, I don't want to lose my games, I'm going to log back in, and if they log back in, they're going to start playing. Wish they would do interview. It would be funny and good for everyone involved. Sargon takes his principles to the point where he becomes anti-fun or something. Poor Leah just got in the crossfire. Leah is very hilarious with what transpired, because like she was making fun of the NPC meme, like it was a meta joke, and Sargon thought that she was doing the NPC meme and started chastising her for it. Let's see, what else do we have today? We talked about Mortal Kombat. I can't show you this because it's copyrighted. Oh, I need to go on the Archcast in like 15 minutes. So, no, not in 15 minutes, sorry, in 1 hour. But I do have like 15 more minutes that I can spend here. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Diablo getting a patch, a lot of people are upset. I have a confession to make, chat. I have a confession. Many of you will hate me, but it is what it is. One of my friends got me the game. It's a childhood friend, unfortunately, which also got me Diablo 3. And I've been playing, when I was a kid, I was going to this internet cafes with him, and we were playing Diablo 2. And because of that, you know, like, he doesn't do politics, doesn't do anything. So I was like, oh, let's play Diablo together. And I'm like, no, I don't have it. And he's like, oh, well, I bought it for you. And I'm like, fuck. Okay, fine. I got 4 characters, chat. I got 4 characters on hardcore. Hardcore, okay? Level 50 plus. All of them. 4 characters. I lost one because it's not that I disconnected, but I was, like, loading the game, and I alt-tabbed. And I started talking to people, and when I alt-tabbed back, the character was dead. I got 4 fucking characters in hardcore over level 50. The game was easy as fuck. Okay? Like, all you had to do was to right-click, and shit would die on the screen. And now they made the game actually fun. For me, at least. You know, I actually enjoy, like, having to move around and, you know, like, just not mindlessly right-clicking and AoEing and, like, focusing on what's actually happening, right? I don't like that. I like that. The problem is, most people don't play the game as it's supposed to be played. And the way the game is supposed to be played, you're supposed to experiment yourself. You're supposed to try different builds. What people do is they go online, they go to these websites where you have like pre-made builds, and they just take a cookie cutter build from there, and they put it on their character, and now they're upset that instead of killing the shit in 5 seconds, they're killing it in 7. So I hear like Grooms, which by the way I respect, but not in this case. Grooms is screaming on Twitter, oh my god, they made the game hard. Shut the fuck up, you know, you ruined World of Warcraft for me. Like, I remember in Wrath of the Lich King, those people really fucked the game by making it easy as fuck, like casualizing it, giving welfare gear to everyone. It was a horror show, right? Like, I understand that not everyone enjoys a hard game. But I also understand that games aren't supposed to be mindlessly easy to the point where you can AFK and just have something pressing against the right mouse button and just clearing everything. Still existing cyber cafes today? Not now, dude. When I was a kid, like when Diablo 2 was a thing, that's when I was playing at the cyber cafes. I thought that Diablo was all about mindless clicking and spamming. Not necessarily, like this one at least, not so much. Like for example, if you play a rogue, you're supposed to teleport and attack their back line and then get out of there. get your energy to recharge, build up the combo point. Like it's a lot more cool. I like that. This Diablo 4, it's actually a lot better than 3. I will be honest. The story is shit. The characters are ugly as fuck. The loot is kind of fun. It's not bad, but overall, it's more Diablo than Diablo 3 ever was. To be fair, Twitter will complain about any change done. No, I understand, like, Twitter complaining, but, like, get good, you know? It's literally that. Like, the game is not that hard. Just get fucking good. Again, I'm playing on hardcore. I'm playing on hard mode. Like, if my character dies, it's over. Like, I haven't died once with 4 characters, and they're over level 50. So shut the fuck up. Get good. Learn to play. Jesus. Last Epoch is good. When I played Last Epoch last time, I didn't really enjoy it. But to be honest, it was brand new, so maybe they added more to it. Path of Exiles is a million times better. I finished it. Like, I don't like the end game in these games, okay? I'm going to be honest. I don't like the end game in Diablo. I don't like the end game in Path of Exile. I don't like... Like, when I play a game, I want to play it for the story and reaching the end. If the game has no ending, then I don't play it. Like, at least in World of Warcraft, it's like, okay, well, there's this boss, so you get gear to beat the next boss. But in Diablo, like, okay, well, you finish the game, you're getting gear, but for what? Like, you're already killing everything, right? So, like, the moment you manage to reach Torment, what was it on Diablo 3? Like, Torment level 7, right? And you're killing everything, you're killing the last boss on the highest difficulty, that's it for me. Like, that's the end game. Like, there's no point, there's no PvP, there's no reason to keep playing. Path of Exile, I don't like it because once you reach a high level, it's just AoE spam. Like, literally every single class in the game becomes a quote-unquote range class. And you just wipe the map. Like, there's shit coming on your map. It doesn't even matter what it is. And you're just spamming AoE. So, I'm sorry. I understand Path of Exile is fun up until a point. Like, when you reach high level, and you just, like, right-click, and everything just fucking evaporates, the game stops being fun for me. Yes, Diablo has a story, believe it or not. They not have difficulty levels anymore. Yeah, but like once you finish the game on the last difficulty, that's it. I like the Atlas bosses in PoE. They were challenging, I see. If you play for the story, you should play Tyranny. Well, what makes you think that I didn't finish Tyranny? I finished it. Shut the fuck up. You're not bringing anything new to the table. I don't get like people who are like, oh, you haven't played this game that's like 15 years old. Chances are I have. Like, unless the game just came out, and I didn't have time to play it, I probably finished it if it's something that I like. PoE is a math problem. Well, again, like, you know, all these games that are, like, relying too much on skill trees, they forget that the internet exists, and the internet actually is what made collectible games less fun, right? So, like, card games used to be really cool, because, like, part of the whole thing was to make your own deck, right? So you'd make your own build, you'd collect the cards that you need, and you'd create like a deck that makes sense. But now you go online and you see what the meta is, and you have that, and you win the tournaments. And it's like, okay, well, where's the fun in that? V, sorry, I didn't know you have played all the games. I did. Look, you can't suggest a classic. Like, if you suggest some esoteric stuff, like some South Korean game that no one heard about, yeah, okay, fine. But you're telling me about a very renowned, very popular game, and you're not the only one, you know? Like, you remind me of all those that came before you. How long have you worked on the story of your game? Or for how long did you have the idea? Holy shit. I think we wrote for like 3 to 5 months. And we had a team of writers, like, just going to see if there's any plot hole or any inconsistencies. Making sure that the characters are well fleshed out, that we don't have, like, the story just moving the characters for the sake of the story, but, like, the characters act in a way that moves the story. We wanted the characters to all be different and not very similar to each other. Yeah, I mean, we did work a lot, and we're still working. Like, we're still constantly, like, looking at it and improving and thinking about ways of how to explore the lore without, you know, like, doing too much show rather than, doing too much tell rather than show. So yes, it came out in 2016. Yeah, it's an old game. You're an old person. Esoteric Games, Ultima Ratio Regum. You see, I've never heard about that one. At least that's a game that I may try. Have you played The Impregnation of the Elves? No. Just play games in VR. Then you can fight your inner ear. I actually did. Like, VR is very interesting because when you first play it, you get motion sickness. So if you actually play VR slowly, like you play games that don't have a lot of motion, usually the ones that where you stay still, after a while, you get used to it. And after a while, you can literally just play any type of game in VR. I mean, I don't know how it would be like to play Titanfall in VR, right? Like that would probably be a challenge. But to play like even a first-person shooter like Doom in VR, yeah, it becomes doable. 2016 was a good year. I don't like VR. It makes me puke. I just told you what you need to do. Like, you need to ease yourself in. You play, like, a game that you sit still, right? Beat Saber. Beat Saber is a very good example, right? So you play Beat Saber in VR the first time. You play it for, like, 5, maybe 10 minutes. You take a break. And then you play it again the next day. And then you try to play it a little bit more. You play, like, for 15 minutes. After a while, you're going to notice that you have absolutely no problem playing Beat Saber in VR. Right? And then you try to play something where you move around. Maybe one of those games that's an escape room type of game, right? And now you can move around, you can do certain things, but you don't really have the walk animation. You just look around yourself and you may move a little bit to the left or right. And once you get used to those games, then you can try playing something else like Resident Evil, one of the best VR games ever made. There is another one with dinosaurs. I forgot the name. But basically, that's how you actually train yourself. It's kind of like when you have seasickness, right? If you go on a boat and the boat is just in port, like that, you're not really going out at sea. You're going to get used to it after a while. You know, like at first time, like the boat is rocking, you get sickness. That's fine. But if you keep going there, eventually you're in port and you don't get seasickness. And then when you actually go on the voyage, it's going to be difficult for a little bit, but then you get used to it. Sailors calling it getting your sea legs, right? And it's interesting because not everyone has the problem. Like some people don't have any issue being on a boat, but others get really sick. Alien Isolation with the Mother mod. I don't know what the Mother mod is, but yeah, it does sound like a really cool game. I don't think you can play it on PlayStation, unfortunately. I used to get motion sickness playing Mountain Blade when it first came out. But then again, it was like a crack, so might have something to do with it. Yeah, like basically if you force yourself to keep playing VR, eventually you're going to stop being sick. Can you get scurvy from VR? No. You don't get scurvy from being at sea. You get scurvy from not eating... from not getting any vitamin intake. I think it's vitamin C if I remember correctly, right? So like being vitamin C deficient, that's when you get scurvy. And that's why like sailors used to have oranges on their ships. And this is why like Gangplank actually used to have a skill where he would eat an orange. A lot of games have a mode where you teleport instead of the fluid walking for people who get motion sick. Yeah, I don't think that helps. I think like that makes it even worse when you teleport. Because your brain doesn't fucking get it. And like the whole thing is like it's the opposite of car sickness, right? So like what is car sickness? Like every one of us have an internal ear, right? And the internal ear basically tells you when things are moving or not. Like it helps you maintain balance, basically, right? So what ends up happening when you're in a car? When you're in a car, you see that you're still, like you're looking around and things are still, but your brain is telling you that you're moving. So is this disconnect between your inner ear, which notices that you're moving, and you looking around the car and noticing that everything is still. And that's what causes the sickness. It's the same when you're at sea, right? Like when you're at sea, it's even more pronounced. Because at least when you're in a car, you can look, and this is a way you can actually fight motion sickness while you're in a car. You're looking out the window, you see that things are moving. When you're on the ocean, right, you look out and everything is blue and everything looks like it's standing still, so you're getting the sickness. Okay, now, with VR is the opposite. With VR, you notice that you're in motion, like your eyes tell you that you're moving, but in reality, your brain tells you that you're standing still. So you get sick. It's this disconnect, right? So there are ways against it. One of the ways, and apparently like this actually works, is the rubber band thing. Like there are some VRs that are set up in a way that you actually have to move your legs on a band, on a treadmill. Apparently like that really cures it. Better frame rate also helps, and just getting used to it. Anywho, I should be going now. Because I gotta prepare. I'm going to be on the Archcast in an hour. So, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate the super chats. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.